Hello, bonjour, ça va? And how are we today? It is Friday, May the 23rd, 2025, here in southwestern Ontario, Canada, by the beautiful shores of Lake Huron. It's been very cold the last couple of days. People have had to bring out their winter coats. I had a leather jacket on and a hat and gloves yesterday for my walk. It's crazy. It's so crazy. Nobody's even out and about. Nobody's even going out. There's something a little odd. Just for a little catch you up moment with the dead fish here on the shore I was telling you about. There's still more. People are being advised not to pick it up. I've actually seen some people pick it up bare hands, these dead fish. I don't know. So the authorities, people in the know, are actually having to post warnings to tell people do not pick up the dead fish with your bare hands. They're telling people how to dispose of them properly. Apparently, the talk goes that there's other things, other creatures as well. I haven't noticed what other creature, but I have noticed that like normally we have like tons, flocks and flocks of seagulls who come along and eat up all the dead, whatever it happens to be, fish, whatever. They pick at the bones. You know what they do, and it's like where are they? Where is everybody? It's very strange. But as I had said, when the ice first melted, for a number of feet from the shoreline out into the lake, it's like all brown, like really brown, black sometimes. I don't know. That did clear up, but it's kind of sort of back. I don't know. Just passing that along, giving you a little update about that and the weather, as we Canadians like to talk about the weather because, every day it's different. But the real reason I'm coming on today is because I was getting the nudge to continue talking about spatial frequency. Only I keep hearing about spatial frequency zones. This is not a topic I am familiar with. However, I've been given the message that we're just to, open up and start processing that information and passing that along to you. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what we are going to do as a team. Okay, so let me tune in and see what this is about because 3D Me doesn't know anything about this topic. But when has that ever stopped us before from giving you information from the higher levels of light? Okay, so there are some frequency zones, spatial frequency zones, that are coming online for us to redefine. They're coming in from a higher state of mind, and there is a sole purpose for us to find. This is a correlation of our diamond mind. So all of these energy flows, these are new, higher, ecstatic light rays, genetic rays of time, over time, to give us energy that is more sublime. So it will come in from a different frequency of time, a higher level of the divine. And we are to incorporate that into our diamond mind, which is, of course, as we all know, crystalline. That's our crystalline soul cells and our soul cellular purpose for being here, which is to free us of the old, I'm hearing it like carbon dating routine that we've been encapsulated in for so long. So these new higher spatial frequency zones are higher planes of light that will restore our higher insight. And that's why we take you back to our higher light. God bless. We give you peace, love, and light. We are speaking to you from our higher light. And the information is right. Okay. So we're going to be encoding new higher light cell structures of the higher, and I'm hearing it, the anterior brain. So if you are prone to giving in to the blame shame game, to other lower refrains, then this will cease the complain and the blame shame game. So it's like I'm seeing it's like it's scrubbing it clean. So any of the anterior motivations of lower spirit is being like this scrubbing motion, seeing it as an old commercial a long time ago. I can't remember which cleaning product it's for the bathroom, and all you would see is these little cartoon images of little brushes, scrub brushes, little tiny things, and they had little eyes, nose, and a mouth, and it was like these, the product was really, once you pour this liquid all over your bathtub or wherever the heck you want to put it, it's like little bubbles, little scrubbers that come in, and all these bubbles and foaming and stuff happens, and voila, without you having to do any scrubbing, it did it for you. And it just, like, poof, dirt was all gone. And that's what I'm being shown are these little, scrubbing brushes that are coming in to do the work, basically, for you. So this is a time when we're going to be redefined, we're going to see a higher line of time, and we're going to relegate it to the divine. So this new spatial frequency timeline is sublime. It is featuring a higher divinity timeline, and it's going to cause a certain form of resistance to the higher light to be gone. It's going to realize for you that this higher frequency of light is born of our highest might. God bless, we give you peace, love, and light. We're speaking to you from our angelic might. And we are speaking to you right. Okay, well, it's not grammatically correct here. But we get the message just the same. Wow, this seems pretty easy, doesn't it? Something's going to happen that with the spatial frequencies that actually align us with our higher light. So we won't feel in such resistance. And we won't feel like we're coming from fear and fright, which is what we've been doing for a very, very, very long time. So some of this subterfuge around messages that come in, messages of thought that are transmitted, some of this is going to be removed and improved. Okay, so I'm hearing they're going to substantially remove all that pain, the blame shame game. The transmutation is the same, it's just we're helping you out with the blame shame game. I'm getting the feeling, because I'm asking, like, what? Like, seriously? I don't know about this. But I'm getting like we're at the point where we need extra help. Ooh, okay. Well, I guess if we need extra help, then we will graciously take it, won't we? As long as it doesn't interfere with our ultimate higher purpose for being here, right? So there are those of us, what I'm getting from this, there are those of us who are still so caught in that trap of the fear cycle that they just keep reproducing cycle after cycle after cycle of fear and dread and being trapped in their head, that they need this extra oomph, this push, this extra help, an extra helping hand to lift them out of the dungeon of their brain, and so that they don't need to as widely complain and not fall into their blame shame game. Because guilt's wrapped up in that too, right? Like every time you go into the blame shame game, your higher selves know this is not true. It's not truth. It's a lie. You're telling yourself a lie so you don't take responsibility for doing the work yourself. And you shift it on to someone else. And then you can play the blame shame game because you're a victim, right? That's done. All right, that is done and gone. We've heard this before. But for those who are still lingering, these particular beings still need a lot of our help to shift them out of their old subconscious awareness and into their higher conscious awareness. So these higher spatial frequency zones are coming in particular for those who have felt that they're just done in by their need. And in other words, to me that means they're just so needy that they think they can't make it. They think they can't be done with all of this lower way of being. So the subterfuge about being in the lowest vibration possible is going to be shifted into this frequency where you can actually see this. It's like you can almost hear your own frequency zone. So you can almost tell that you're still sitting in your own little diverse hell. So in other words, you're still sitting in the fear frequency. This has to be brought to their attention or they can't move. It's like they're in prison in their mind. They're trapped in their mind and their mind's eye, so they can't see that. So these new higher spatial frequencies in the new time zones that are coming in are going to relieve them of that stress and distress that they can't be blessed. In other words, they can't see themselves enough to be able to help themselves enough to get out of it. I put a fire on just before I came on here, so it's snapping and cracking. My Elmira wood-burning stove. So if you're hearing little noises, that's what it is. Okay, just down the hall, the end of the hall, that's where it is. It's cold. Like I said, it's cold. I had a fire every day. It's crazy. So these higher shields of light are coming in to radiate this new higher stream of light to them, to their subconscious awareness, so they can finally step out of it. They can actually hear themselves. It's like a singing, that's a frequency. It's singing. A song is a frequency. Music is a frequency. So they can hear their own song. They can hear their own light. They can understand that they can choose to do what's right for themselves, of course. So this new higher frequency zone in these higher linear time zones, they're getting a new boost of higher energy frequency so that they can actually absolve themselves of their own guilt so that they won't wilt. So they won't cry their life away, in other words. I did actually hear before I came on something about solitude, being in solitude. There are various renderings of this thought of solitude. For some of us, like if we've been wounded, if we've been hurt, we come out of a difficult relationship and we kind of go off and we're by ourselves for a little time. And it's like we lick our wounds, that saying, you go off to lick your wounds, right? And that time is needed. Or if you're coming into a higher spiritual light frequency, you tend to go off by yourself, go into hermit mode, or you're very alone, solitude kind of way of being, so that you can process this new higher energy fields of light. But then what I was shown is that solitude can be like not a healthy thing as well. Just like everything else in this duality, it can be used for good or not good. So if you're in too much of a solitude position in your life, you're actually creating more harm and more strife. What I was shown was, and this was the angelic frequency coming in to show me this, because I hadn't realized this. I hadn't realized this before. Oh dear. I'm going to have to do something about that, aren't I? So when you are in too much solitude, where it's now causing harm to your health, which can stymie your wealth, it's like a call for you, a wake-up call to call home. When you call home, you realize you're not alone. In other words, you call in your spiritual essence of your higher light. You call in the angelic light. You call in your higher frequency light from your off-worlder parental lineage line, your ancestor line. And, I'm feeling really down. I'm alone. I don't know. I'm not coping well in life. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get out of this funk, this low state of being. I need help. And then you're supposed to switch that frequency and ask for help. So you channel the higher light. And then you feel all right, because your ancestry team, your light team, your energy team, your higher selves, your guides, whatever you label you want to put on all these different frequencies of thought, they actually come in and boost your energy. I'm hearing it's like a booster rocket on when NASA sends their ships into space, they always have a booster rocket, or at least they used to. Everything's new tech now, I get it. But that's what I'm seeing. It's like it's a booster rocket to help you find your way home, which increases the sanity level and takes you out of that solitude that is harmful to your health and thus your wealth. I'm hoping I am making that clear. As with all new information, when I start to receive it, it takes me a while. It used to be anywhere up to a month, so maybe it'll be faster now, to actually kind of sort of 3D me understand some of it. So I am kind of getting some of it, but there are some distortions in the wave thought theory coming through, okay? So I'll need to, there needs to be less resistance in you to this new information is true. Okay, so I'm standing in the way. I have to step out of the way. As we all do when we're getting this new information, because we're so used to things a certain way. So when they change, it's like, yeah, we've got to get out of our own way and say, I am open to all possibilities. There you go. I am open to all possibilities. So for this new information coming through, these higher spatial frequency zones of the higher light, they know what they're doing. They know how to help you escape the prison of your mind and your mind's eye, so you can see clearly, or more so than before, whatever level or frequency you're at. No judgment here. So this is what these new zones are doing. They're stimulating the cortices in the brain. On the left-hand side of the brain, they're lifting that refrain that you're always feeling like you're in disdain, and the other highlight will be in less, less restrained. Okay. All right, so it'll be easier to operate from a higher frequency of light. Let's put it that way. That seems easier to understand. Anything else? No, they're saying I've got the gist of it. Phew, well, that's good to know. Okay, so I think that's what we're going to be delving into next, probably for the next several years, because isn't that kind of how it works here? When I get a new topic, it's kind of like we dwell on it for quite some time. So we're just going to keep building on that with these new spatial frequency zones of light coming in to help us. It won't be as difficult as before clearing our own energy now. It won't be as difficult to see the less resistance in the higher light. We're going to kind of know simultaneously with that thought that we're going to know about our own spiritual path. So yeah, it's waking up the part of the collective that has been blind to their own truth. Sounds good to me. Wouldn't that be amazing to have a whole planet who's awake? And actually everybody knows everything about everybody and everything? I think that's marvelous. Wow, that's been my fantasy. How about yours? But that's how we fantasize from the higher light. Okay. I guess I'm going to go then. I'm not hearing anything else to say. So enjoy your day. Blessings. Take care of yourselves and others. If you do wish to make an appointment with us, you can reach us at the website www.healingourenergy.ca, and yeah, maybe we'll meet with you another day. All right. We'll talk again. Bye for now.